Oh, well, hello there. Welcome back to our chess journey to 1500 ELO on chess.com. Today, I thought we might get a bit mischievous and crush our opponent. So let's go on ahead and play a game. We get TK223 from Zimbabwe. I think this is our first opponent from Zimbabwe. I don't think I've seen this flag. We get this. Luckily, we recently played against this. And this d5 here netted something like a 0.7 advantage in our favor, which I definitely don't mind. But should have analyzed this a bit deeper, because I don't quite know the follow-up. Okay, so let's think about this here. We could grab the center. I would like to play this at some point to disallow this from being played. But this might be quite weakening. I'm realizing because we might have this, and if our opponent tries to defend this, it might be played out like a Queen's Gambit accepted, where we just break apart the pawns. So instead, I'm inclined towards developing here quite normally. Not trying to force c4, although we could try to come up and grab the center when and if needs be. So could we kind of develop a long-term plan here of hitting this pawn here? Honestly, not quite. It's quite easy to defend. So we might not go for that idea. It says here our opponent has disconnected. I'm hoping this is not the shortest game of our journey so far. Honestly, I can't remember how short the shortest game has been, but this might very well be it if our opponent resigns on move 3, or disconnects rather. And luckily the connection here might be subpar, but we'll see what happens. If our opponent does go here, for example, this might be a move. I don't quite like it. What else do we have? There could be an argument maybe for coming up and trying to grab this bishop. This is the most likely move. It's played. Our opponent is back, luckily. Now do we have this move? The problem is if this is played, we can't play this. So how about a4? Is it necessary though? Why not just e4? Grabbing more of the center. I don't quite know if it's an overextension though. This doesn't seem that good because you could see this, but this might be good for us, to be honest. We can reinforce the center, prevent any outposts, and open up our rook. This might be a development plan. And this bishop could come out as well. Or, well, not quite. Let's not hang our rook and our pawn in one move. Okay, so we don't have a million moves then. So which moves do we have then? I think this looks logical, dealing with the diagonal to some degree, and this leaves our opponent's king with horrendous weaknesses if it castles kingside. Activates this, as I mentioned, gives us this great control over the center, which I don't think we'd mind. If this pawn here is targeted, well, c4. And, well, if this is played, we have a replacement. So we're up a bishop here now, which feels nice, but still there is a lot of work to be done. This is not won, not even remotely so. Our opponent here has disconnected again. Hopefully they come back. It sucks playing with a bad connection. I've done that before. Hopefully it does not impact our opponent's game too much. Gives us more time to think though. Let's see, what would I play here? The knight can't come out. The most logical move, I think, is this, looking to play castles. If the knight comes out, we might have this. Oh, no. If the knight comes out, I think we go here. Then our opponent can't castle. And if this is played, we go here, forcing the rook to move and disallowing castling entirely. And then I guess we don't have a lot of squares, so we might have to come out here and allow the knight to take us, and we take, and we have given up the bishop here, but our opponent can't castle. Which might be quite favorable for us. Oh no, does our opponent disconnect? Please come back, TK. Oh, that sucks for our opponent and for the quality of the game. Let me just quickly go here and log on to my second account to get a game review. This was not a particularly long game, but there might still be something to learn. You guys can't see it yet, I'm just loading the game review. And now we can go into it and have a look. I guess the devilish part here seemed to work. I promise, guys, I did not sabotage our opponent's internet, although it does seem quite coincidental here, does it not? 100% accuracy, devilish accuracy as well. There is something to be said about this. Well, we had 100%, not much more to say there. This was good, and well, the game was over here. It's, as I mentioned, a bit unfortunate, but don't leave yet, because I think for the length of the video and for the sake as well of not spoiling the video, I think we'll do a quick puzzle rush, which I have not done in ages. So let's have a look at some puzzles and see what we can get done. I think maybe a survival puzzle rush. Yeah, I will go survival and try to have a quick look here. Well, this is forced. Or well, we could have taken with the bishop. This is checkmate in 1. This is checkmate. We are white. This is checkmate in 3. Quite typical back rank stuff. Eventually we will get to the more difficult ones. This is checkmate. This is checkmate. typically at the start of Puzzle Rush, it's mostly mate in one puzzles, and then it gets more difficult from there. This doesn't work because of this, so let's have a quick look. This is mate in one. Honestly, it's just looking for mates, or well, sometimes you win a queen or something, but typically speaking, it's mate in one. Mate in one. Oh, this is a horrendously bad position though. Or is it? Well, if we don't have mate, our opponent might surely have a mate of their own. This seems more difficult. But essentially this forces the king here, and this becomes checkmate. So we have mate in two now. This seems like a typical pattern. Forcing the king back to checkmate like this, but okay, so what do we have here? Here I don't immediately see the move. Okay, so after having a quick look, I don't see a way of preventing this checkmate. So let's move over. It was correct. Realizing the king is weak, this forces this. Or does it? The king could come here as well, but then this is checkmate. So this, the king moves, and this is checkmate. Here, I'm seeing this, forcing the king here, and then we have mate. Pawn moves first, and we have mate like this. This, and mate here. Seems like it. Black to move. First intuition is this. I don't think this is a checkmate. I think we're supposed to win the queen. Seems correct. And what is this? I guess this looks like checkmate. Yep. We're up to 18. Slowly getting more difficult. So we're even material here, is what I'm noticing. And we have to decide between playing this or playing this, I think. Let's calculate quickly. This, and this. And here we win one piece, it seems. If this is played, I guess this doesn't seem incredibly convincing, although it might be good. Maybe here? Honestly, I'm not sure, but this seems more concrete. So we will go for this. Oh, this is an interesting position. This looks natural because the pawn is pinned. But there might be other moves. Let's look at this first. There are quite a few squares. I'm looking at this as well, or no, this doesn't work. This doesn't do a whole lot. Oh, never mind. It wasn't as complicated as I thought. This pawn is undefended. Sometimes you just overlook stuff. This is a pin. So this is a mate because of our rook. Here I'm seeing this, forcing this. I would have liked to have a light squared bishop here coming in and forcing the king here, but we don't. So let's have a look at this position first. Are we just supposed to play? Obviously here our opponent is threatening mate in 1 here. We can't defend it with a piece over here, so it's either going to be a check here or a check here. Oh yeah, this, yeah, it's a mate in 2, like this. So here, this looks like a mate. I was going to say this looks like a mate, but not quite. The pawn can block. Maybe this, threatening mate here. And our opponent has to sack the queen. Or play this. But now this becomes a move. And do we just take the rook? I guess we do. Okay, so what happens here? What I'm noticing is we are 2 squares away from promoting. Can we force the promotion? Let's have a look at this. Honestly, I think this rook sack here looks to be the best move, because this has to be taken and we can advance. If this is played and the rook gets behind here, it seems like we might lose the game even. At least I don't see any winning chances. So we'll play like this and the pawn promotes, and that's a win. Is this a smothered mate? Here, here, and here. Yes, it is. You have to love the smothered mates, although you never see them in actual games. At least I don't. Here, horse checkmate. Seems like it to me. The queen covers those squares. Nothing controls this, so we can go here. And checkmate. Okay, so we have the move here as black. We have even material, it seems. Or down 1 pawn. If we take, and our opponent takes, what I'm seeing is this might be a fork. But is it? This, and if this is taken, we get a knight and a rook for 2 bishops. Should be winning. Oh no, that's incorrect. Our first inaccuracy or mistake. Mate in 1. That's an unlucky king. Okay, so what do we have here? Is this a move or this? How do we hit this king? Which I guess is the objective here in this puzzle. Let's say we go here, the king slides over. I'm seeing this move. The king can't go here. If takes, well, that's not possible, it's pinned. So the king has to come to this file, after which we have a revealed attack with the queen. This seems to be correct because our opponent sacks the queen. This is not a real position. Surely this is not a real chess position. Is this the move? No, then the rook takes. This? Yeah, this is the move. So do we promote here? This, and what's our move here? We can't block like this. At least I don't quite see it. So this, and do we just walk our king up and argue that we're first? Seems like it. That's correct. Queen to d5. I guess this is a free knight because of this fork. So we get this, and well, knight, knight, and how do we approach, or proceed rather? Approach is not what I meant to say. How do we proceed here and win material? We're actually pinned to our king, I'm realizing, so we might have to take, and we will see this and this maybe. Yeah, this seems to be good. And now we win this rook here. So what am I seeing here? We are down one piece and one rook. 8 points of material, and well, there is a pawn imbalance as well, but the important thing is the king is weak. How do we hit the king? This looks like a check to me, and it looks like a checkmate as well. The queen covers this, and this looks good. White to move. Is this a move? The king seems to escape here. We don't want the king to escape though. Do we have this? What happens here? Well, this is checkmate. I think this might be the move. It wasn't. I'm playing a bit quick here because, well, first of all, I don't want to be too slow in the puzzles to make it boring, but at the same time I don't want the video to get too long either. I don't quite know what length we're at. We did have a game and we have done a long puzzle rush now. But still, we're down to 1 life, so let's try to slow down perhaps and get as far as we can and on our last life here. This is a mate in 1. First move I'm looking at is this, forcing the king here. This forces the king here. But do we have any follow-up? I don't quite see any, but let's have another look. Maybe this. Not quite. I think it has to start with this. It does. And now we have to find the move here. I don't think we're supposed to win the bishop though. Seems unlikely. I think this has to be the move, but I don't quite see the follow-up here, as I mentioned. We can't go here and threaten this. This might just be a repetition. We're down a piece, so a repetition might be the best move, but typically speaking, puzzles do not look for repetitions. So let's try to follow this first. Is there anything here? A single move that seems to win. Honestly, I do not see it. This, and the king escapes. This rook here can't easily get involved. So I think we might have to go back, which was incorrect. Still, this is a new record on Puzzle Rush here, which is quite nice to see. Is it possible to analyze this last puzzle here and have a look? Let's have a last look at this puzzle to get an idea. This was played, and oh, okay, I see. I didn't realize this was a check, forcing this, and well, we win the knight as well, and this rook will be lost, so, well. That's just me not calculating deeply enough there. Anyways, guys, we did win our game today. I think we got up to 1479 if I'm not mistaken, which is fantastic. We are not far off from our goal now. I see we've been recording now for 28 minutes. The video is still on the shorter end, at least relative to what the videos tend to be. Please do give some feedback if you liked the puzzles or if you thought it wasn't quite your preferred kind of content. Anyways, this has been our video for today. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. It was a short one today. I swear I did not DDoS our opponent, despite showing some devilish vibes. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.